Well, hey, Retire with Less series. You know what? I just went on a 10-minute rant and I didn't press record. I wonder if I can reiterate some of that and try to make it shorter. We'll see. We'll see. But this is the Retire with Less series. Uh, if you've been around or if you're new here, I encourage you to look back at the playlist because I don't know if how far I'm going to go into explaining what this is about. Actually, I am. Screw it. You're going to have some faith, though, because I'm a guy sitting here with a shirt that he goes to bed in that literally has holes in it, and a sixth grade education, and somebody who has, a very small portfolio. You're going to have some faith. So if you have faith, go down there, hit like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that normal YouTubers tell you to do. There's ways you can support the channel. There's the Amazon link is the big one. I'd appreciate that. A lot of you have been using it, and I appreciate it. It's a win-win is all I'm saying. So with that being said, this series is actually a series of how to generate I call it a significant amount of money on a smaller portfolio using options. Now, simple options, nothing complicated. No, I know options sometimes can be this mysterious thing, but it's extremely simple. Okay. Now, what drew me down this hole was 2018. I was sitting around and I just thought to myself, what the hell am I going to do in my old age? Because here we are sitting $40,000 in debt. And, I saw a headline that said you need millions of dollars to retire. Okay. I'm making, 30, 40 grand a year. How in the hell am I supposed to get to millions of dollars to retire? And, my thought was, well, I'm not. I'm just going to have to work until I drop dead. And unfortunately, that's probably the conclusion that a lot of people come to because, they're in their mid 40s like I was, and they realize, oh, crap, my senior years aren't too far off in the distance. And I'm sitting here in debt and have no savings, no investments, nothing, no retirement plan, nothing. What am I going to do? And you see those headlines, you need millions of dollars to retire. Well, it's going to really weigh on you because, at that point in your mid 40s, late 40s, whatever, that's very difficult to catch up to. Especially an uneducated person like myself, right? That has little skills and, normal, just everyday person, right? Because a lot of people live, even to this day, even with inflation the way it is, a lot of people live, 30 grand, 40, 50 grand a year. There's still a whole ton of people that are living, scraping by on that. And so I got to thinking, well, if I'm living on 30, 40, 50 grand, why the heck do I need millions of dollars to retire? It didn't calculate for me. So I started doing some things and researching, and of course dividends. That's one way. But $250,000 really it's not gonna move the needle too big. And then I discovered options, and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool because you technically, you don't need to own anything. You don't need to risk owning equity in a company or an ETF and risk big market drops. With options, you can build in some of that market drop and and even if the market dropped, be in better shape than the person that just owned the equity. And you can sit in cash. And right now, collecting interest on cash is pretty darn good. I don't even talk about that as far as the income in this series, but it's there. Now, these are paper portfolios because since 2018, I still haven't accumulated enough to do this. But what I do, I got about half the size of this portfolio, but it allowed me to work part-time. So is that something you wouldn't mind doing? Like give up that 50, 60-hour salary job that you're making 50 grand a year on, that you're grossing 50 grand a year on, but you're taking home about 36, right? Would you like to just drop that, go do a part-time job, work 20 hours a week, and make money selling options and lead a more healthy lifestyle instead of stressing your ass off at a job that you hate? That's the question you gotta understand or come to realize and face head on. A lot of times, a lot of these jobs are killing you. Point blank. The stress, sometimes the poor diet, poor choices, not enough rest, etc., right? But we're told, grind it out, grind it out. Okay. Here's an option. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I don't know if I covered everything in the 10-minute rant that I lost, but I thought that was pretty funny. So this is basically a paper portfolio, $250,000. One started with just QILD to see how dividends would work. It went kaput after about 2 years. And then I switched it up. So this is basically kind of a large cap, small cap, two different portfolios. If you want more detail, you'll have to go through the playlist. But what we're doing is we're selling puts, cash secured puts, okay, and covered calls when necessary, when assigned stock. And we're collecting the cash and we're managing to pay our bills and grow the portfolio a little bit. So let's get into it. So how did April turn out? I know some of you smart guys are going to say, I thought you were going to break this series up and talk about the closing one week and the opening the next week. I don't have time for that anymore. I may only just do one video a month going forward. So April, our SOXL got called away. So we're essentially 100% cash in this side, except for the 2,000 shares of RYLD. On the IWM side, we held on to our TNA. We own 2,000 shares there. And that's it. So let's take a look real quick at how May turned out. This is we've had a bad couple of months. And I don't mean bad like we're losing money. But it hasn't been a great environment to sell cash secured puts. And not just on this paper portfolio, but in real life, that's how it's been. These past 2 months have been, 30 to 40% less premium that I've collected personally. And it's reflected here too. And it's just because the VIX has dropped. That's the volatility index. Okay. Now with that being said, I could push the issue and collect more premium. But the more you push or the more contracts you put out, the higher, the more money you have to put up, or I hate to use the word risk, but the more collateral you're putting up. And the way the market has ran up, especially the NASDAQ, and tech, which I rely heavily on here. I don't think I want to push the envelope so hard. Excuse me. So I'm not. Okay. So if you remember last month, we were short. We are requiring $3,000 a month out of these portfolios. If we don't get it, we just pull the money out of the cash pile. And there's plenty of cash pile in these two accounts, okay, or in these two paper portfolios. Now, someone got all offended because it was a paper portfolio. Well, the numbers don't lie. The numbers are the same whether this is a real portfolio or not, okay? It's just, you want skin in the game. I might share I think I will share. Let's see, what's the date? Okay, yeah, it'll be next week. And this May 30th is my birthday, my son's graduation, my son-in-law's birthday. So a lot of stuff going on May 30th. So next, on the 3rd, I should have my personal option dividend portfolio update video. So what happened? So we doing SOXL TQQ is typically what I like to trade in this account. Then we have the 2,000 shares of RYLD. But like I said, been a little rough. If I would have waited a day or two, I could have got a lot more premium because the market did pull back a little bit, especially tech. Because SOXL sitting at $16 as of today, which is Wednesday, the 24th. But I put these, I entered these in on Monday, the 22nd, when SOXL was much higher. Okay. So if I would have done this same strike today, I would have got a bunch more money. But we went with $15 strike out to June 16th. It's a short period. I think it's 3 weeks roughly. What that means, we did 40 contracts. Okay. What that means is if SOXL is $15 or below on June 16th, we will need to buy $60,000 worth of shares, or 4,000 shares. Okay, 4,000 times $15 is $60,000. But if it's 1501, then we don't have to do anything. Okay. Now for that obligation, we got paid $58 per contract. Each contract represents 100 shares. So we did 40 shares or 40 contracts. So 40 times $58 is $2,320. So we got $2,320 in cash deposited in our bank. And we put aside 60 grand for that. Okay. And then RYLD paid 16.1 cents. So $322 in dividend income there. So total for May, we brought in $2,642. We were short $358. So we had to just take that off of the cash balance. Now you see the cash went up there. That's because we got called away last month. So we're sitting on $264,320 in cash. Okay. We're assuming that this got spent. So this doesn't even get added to this. We're assuming this goes into our checking account and gets spent. And this goes into our checking account and gets spent. Let's assume that. So we do have to set aside that 60 grand. So we have $204,000 in liquid cash sitting, collecting 4% interest. What is that? 204,000 times 4%. It's a little more than 4%, but let's just go with it. $8,160 divided by 12. So technically we got our 3 grand because we got $680 in interest from the cash sitting. Let me take that back. It's going to vary a little bit because some months will be lower, but it is what it is. So we basically got $2,642 in income. Now, how much is that an hour? Well, it took about 5 minutes to enter all this info. So it would have took me 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes actually, to enter this info, look up the trades. Even if I executed the trades, it wouldn't have took that long. Okay, so 5 minutes of work to generate 2642. So how much is that an hour? Well, how many 5-minute now? Remember my 6th grade education. How many 5-minute blocks are there in an hour? In my opinion, there would be 60 divided by 5 is 12. So every 5 minutes, we made $2,642. So let's times 2642 times 12, right? $31,704 per hour. How's that for clickbait? But it's not a lie. It's not a lie. If it took you 5 minutes to make $2,642, times that by 12, that would make your hourly wage. Now, if only that could be true. Well, it's true, but, you know, like reality, IRL. So, for those wondering, 2020-21, I don't have 2021 numbers. I'd have to go back and look through the videos, and I'm not going to do that. We got $34,000 in option income in 2021, $36,000 in 2022, and so far this year, $22,254. So there you have it. The other side, IWM, we still have our 2,000 shares. What did we do here? Did we do anything? We did. We sold 20 calls at the 36 strike. And what that means, since we own the 2,000 shares, right? If on June 16th, if this goes to $36, we'd have to sell it at $36. And for that, we got $56 per contract, 20 contracts. So we got $1,120. We also went in. TNA has support at around the $27 level. Out to June 16th, we did the 27 strike, 20 contracts. We had to put up $54,000 for that, but we got $65 contract there. So total, we got $1,300. Grand total, we took in $2,420. We are short $580. So that just comes off of our cash. Cash minus secured, because we're got to secure that $54,000 for those extra 20 contracts. So we're sitting on $75,000 in cold hard cash there. 2420. Let's see, what is that? 2420 times 12. $29,000 an hour. Now on this side, it has changed because this was QILD in 2021 and then QILD in 2022. And then I kicked it to the curb because it just was not going to give us what we needed every month. And this one isn't either. Trying to be a little bit more aggressive. Hopefully the volatility index rises a little bit, and then we'll be able to get a little bit more premium going. And yeah, that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed my laid back, whatever, don't care about the time, don't care what I say type video. Anyway, hope you liked it. Support it down there with the Amazon link. I'd appreciate it. Give me a like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that everybody tells you to do. Leave some comments down below. I may answer, I may not. I just don't have as much time as I used to. So hope you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. I am not a financial advisor. The information contained in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be investment advice. Please seek a licensed professional for any investment, tax, or legal advice. Thank you.